Real conversations, real solutions, real success.
Success is my religion.
Welcome to another episode of the Porch on the Success is My Religion podcast network. I am your host, and one of your hosts,
Mm.
the success engineer, CJ, the chosen one. We are here with a good one. We're going to talk about NPCs. Are you being an NPC or are you in control and taking care of your life and doing what you want in your life and creating a life that is successful? And then we're gonna react to an interview that I had with a student
Mm-hmm.
um, for the Jumpstart Generational Wealth program, and then we're gonna do our 3,000 questions about us
Yeah.
series, and we're gonna get out of here for the evening. So
All right. Look at that. Action-packed show.
action packed. So what? The reason why I picked this NPC for the topic today. And if for our listeners that don't know, an NPC is or a non-player character is a video game or tabletop character not controlled by a human player, usually driven by predetermined scripts or AI.
Mhm.
They populate game worlds as shopkeepers, quest givers, or background figures, often repeating lines or behaviors. In pop culture, it describes someone who lacks original thought or independent action.
Mm. Trend
And
Trendsetters.
right. So the reason why I picked that topic is because I was listening to a motivational video and they was like, you got to be the main character of your own life and you got to be the director of your own life. If not, you're going to be a what? An NPC.
We don't
Is
want
really,
that.
they didn't say NPC, but that came to my mind is like, are you guiding your life as the main character? Because in Grand Theft Auto, you even said it before we before we started the podcast. I was like, the non-player characters are the ones giving you the quest and doing the little mundane things every single day. Every time you go past them, they doing the same thing over
Yeah,
and over and over.
that's true.
But that main character gets to do whatever the heck he wants. He gets to go steal cars and run away from the cops, go
I do it
flying
all the time.
planes and go across, not even doing the quest. You just running around doing whatever you
I never met the drug dealer to pick up the drugs. I always,
want.
I always get distracted.
Yeah. But
Being a menace.
I think people are going through their lives and we've been so conditioned as a society to just do the mundane things. I call it getting out of the matrix. You gotta be able to get out of the matrix. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to make you conscious of what you're trying to do or conscious of society's influence on what you're doing.
Yeah.
And when I talk to my students who are 15 to 25-year-olds or my life coaching clients or people in general, I talk to CJ like this all the
Yeah. And it's
time.
very motivating.
And I don't know if it's motivating.
It's
I
motivating to me.
yeah, he thinks it's motivating, but I just be asking questions to make sure you're conscious of, hey, am I just doing this or am I doing it with a purpose? And when I talk to my students, I'm like, hey, you can't just sit around and be like the non-player character and just get the information from your teacher, write it down, and go throughout your life and just people are telling you what you need to do, but you can actually guide yourself through this. Not use everybody else as non-player characters.
Mm.
I'm getting information when I went to college out and e- even in my life, like my basketball coaches, I would see them and what they did in their regular lives, and I would be like, "Hey, I want to be like that. I want that characteristic in me. How do I model that in me?" So I saw something that I liked in them,
Hmm.
and I was like, "I want to be like that." So how do I be like that? And how do I add that to my character? So as I move on, I am moving on like the Independence Day aliens.
Oh,
So
okay.
so you know how the aliens at Independence Day, they
Yeah.
they go to each planet and suck all the natural resources out of it so they can use it for themselves. Like I do that. I'm not sucking anything out of anybody. Pause.
Yeah. I know
And
you was gonna. I know that was gonna happen.
but I am taking characteristics and things that I from people that I meet that I can add to my life so that I can be a better version of myself, so that I can do the things that I do. Even with sitting in classes, and that's why I have the work hard philosophy is I already know what's coming. So if I'm getting bad information from somebody, I know that I'm not gonna go that route. I'm gonna go this route when somebody gives me some good information.
Oh
And I
yeah.
already
Yeah.
know that it's good information because I've already predicted kind of what to look for. And if you don't predict what you're looking for, people are just gonna give you a whole bunch of information. You don't know where to store that in your brain, and you don't know how to use it. And that's what I want everybody to know. We can't be non-player characters now. And
Absolutely
you,
not.
the young people have we're living in a time where you don't have to be a non-player character. You don't
No,
have to
you
be an
don't.
NPC. You don't have to be an NPC. But the veil that is over everybody's face, we think that we're the main character when we're not. And once you get sucked into the matrix, which is paying bills to survive, to live, and going to a job to live, to survive, and you haven't done anything towards something that you are interested in, that's when you become an NPC.
Yeah, that's a problem because you're just taking direction. You're not giving direction, and it's terrible. Um, in this day and age, with our society the way it is and the leaders that we have, it is very good that you are not an NPC. You do not want to fall into that trap of being a congestive flow of life. Um, Me personally, I mean, I do give people their flowers now as I'm getting older, and I tell people what I appreciate about them and what I want to emulate from them. But I am a big observer. I observe a lot, and then I try and absorb it or figure out how I can implement it in my life to make my life better because no one is going to help me. I'm not trying to be an NPC. I tell you that right now. I am what we discussed earlier is a guy that plays Grand Theft Auto. I might try to do one of the missions, but once I get off track, then it's over. I steal cars. I run people over.
You should hear him in conversations. Well, I'll be like, all right, right, we was on this point, and you didn't get to the end.
I do it all the time. It's
We
a
didn't
bad
get to the
habit.
end. I'll be like, so what was that back then? He don't do it all the
Hey,
time, but I'm just
you wrangle me back, so
yeah.
it's good.
And,
What's the people that don't wrangle me back? They just let me wander off.
and they like, I don't know what he was talking about.
I usually don't anyway. It's over
Yeah,
their head. But anyway, not
yeah.
you though. Not you, buddy.
No, I'll be going. I'll be like, man, come on now. Um, but like in everyday life, just like in the book, work smarter and work harder. You got to know what arena you're playing in,
Yeah.
and you got to have goals for yourself in every single arena: personal, professional, health, fitness, family, relationships, and financial. Those are the arenas that you gotta have goals in. And if you don't have goals, if you don't know what you're doing, that's when you become an NPC. If you don't have goals for yourself going through, you should have goals for high school. Hey, I know I need to just to put myself in position to finish the quest, right? You may not even know what the quest is. That's what I'm
It's to
that's why I
graduate.
hesitate on putting out all the information for everything because I don't know what your quest is. I don't know what the end goal is for. but I know that you need to do some work to get there. If you're not doing any work and you're just going along with because people don't want you to do better than them. I'm like one of the few people, or well, there's a lot of people that do want you to do better than them, but like people that you just come by, like teachers and stuff like that,
Mm,
if and I tell my students this all the time, if somebody's not pushing you to be better, they are not looking out for your best interest. If somebody is letting you get by and slide with little things like that, like just, "Oh, you can turn it in late because you're just such a good student," and they do that 10 times, like, no, like, that's not helping you be better.
that's
That's not holding you accountable, that's not holding you to a standard that will better you, and especially when you're in high school, college, trade school, whatever, because people, it's a whole bunch of people that go through trade school and are not good at what they do. You know what I mean? Like,
I do know what you mean.
you can get trained and still not be good.
That's very true. But also to piggyback off that, um, sometimes when people are trying to encourage you, or maybe they may seem a little aggressive or hard on you, it's not necessarily hating, because you have to take into them understanding and taking the time out to try and correct you, or at least guide you in the right steps in what you're trying to do. And I noticed that in society now, or at least when I was growing up, if somebody was trying overly aggressively to be like, "Hey, do this," "Oh man, you hating on me," all this and that. You have to be able to take constructive and criticism, because it may help you. It may shape you into being the person that you're going to be 5 or 10 years or a month down the road, depends on how you can turn it all around. But
Let's break that down. Constructive criticism, because s- students don't know what constructive criticism is. They think
I know.
they being attacked when somebody's just like, I told this one student, she sent an email. I wish I could read it, but
We're not
we're not gonna do
gonna.
that. And if you want us to read it or want me to read it, let me know in the comments. If you got this far, let me know in the comments you want me to read that email. But it came off rude to me. Like she was talking she was emailing us about her being marked absent, and she was like, "As you know, I am in such and such program, and I'm not supposed to be marked absent." And we talked about this before.
Oh, we talked about this
Yeah,
before.
so it was down along those lines, and I'm like
Wow.
I'm like so it was three people on the email. It was me, the counselor, and the teacher. So I was like, let me email her and tell her that that was a rude email.
Yeah, are you the authority?
Exactly. Um, I was like, it's a rude email, but I emailed her individually, so like I didn't have everybody on there. I was like,
Oh, that's good.
and she was like, "Can you tell me why it was rude?" And I didn't email her back, but a couple days later, I tried to stop her in the hallway and talk to her about it face to face because I
Yeah.
couldn't explain it really in an email. And then she probably her mom is the principal in the district, so she probably
Oh,
would
we
have
don't
sent
want
it to
that.
her. You know what I mean?
Look what they're picking on me.
Exactly. Well, I saw her in the hallway, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you don't have to talk. We don't have to talk about it because the teacher said that it wasn't a rude email. They didn't think it was rude." I was like, "Okay," but but this
But I'm telling you that it is.
exactly, exactly. So I was like, "All right," you know what I mean. But this is a student that has aspirations to be a nurse practitioner.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm preparing her for when she becomes a nurse practitioner and she has nurses up under her, how you come across in your emails or how you come across just speaking to
Right.
somebody who's either either you're a authority figure for, or somebody who's above you as far as your communication is, and
Yeah.
you're a black girl, so black girls starting to black women, that
Oh boy.
the stereotype is that you're angry black woman. So if you don't get your way, and or something's going wrong, and you don't even she didn't even ask a question in her initial email.
It
She was
sounded
just
like she was telling you.
exactly, and I was like, "Man, that is rude because we're adults and you're only 16 years old, 17 years old. um I know you feel like an adult because you get good grades and you're doing so well in the program and all that
Uh-uh.
stuff, but you
Don't
you
grow
still
up
have
too
to."
fast, I tell you.
Exactly. So when we get to the point where constructive criticism, that's where you can take it. Like I've been working with this student for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to pull you aside and be like, hey, this is how we can structure it. Because I didn't even get to the part where I could tell her the constructive criticism
Ah.
because she went to somebody else. It's like the mom and dad thing when a kid goes to the mom and
Oh
or the
yeah.
dad, and one of them says no and they go to the other one. And I was like,
You
okay, I
put
mean,
them together or against each other, I
and the
guess.
teacher did, and I don't know what the conversation they had, but if she would have told him the whole story, hey, Mr. Taylor thinks that this is a rude email. Did you think that? And at least the teacher would be like, hey, why would they think that? What would that look for? But our teachers don't be having the awareness to be like,
Mm.
hey,
Well,
I'm
that's a
I'm helping you for the future. Like that's something that's very simple. That hey, could you please change my attendance? I know we talked about this before, but I want to make sure that it's right.
yeah.
That's
That might get you way further
way further.
than what you said started out with. I would have read that and been like, delete.
That's what I'm saying. So the constructive criticism is
You're
very
absent.
important.
You're absent today.
Right. I'm gonna mark you absent every
Right.
day just for
Right.
that. No, I can't do that. But
I'm gonna
so
find somebody that
that
can.
constructive criticism is key. That constructive criticism is key.
It is very key. But in retrospect, there is. I mean, we're given out positive information for life. You see what I'm saying? But as positive as we are, we try and to project. There are the opposites, and it could sound the same, and it'd be totally wrong. And depending on how it sounds and how it makes you feel, you might go that direction. We don't want you to go that direction. We want you to be of sound mind and body and be determined to be the best person that you're going to be.
And we want you to be the main character of your life. We want you to direct your life. Direct your life with a purpose. Even if you don't have a goal or a quest, your quest is inside of what you do.
Exactly.
So even in high school, oh, I don't know what I want to do in college. But you have to set yourself up to have the opportunity to go to college. So if you being an NPC and you just come to class and you sleep or don't do what you're supposed to, and you got a 1.3 GPA, and now you want to go to college as a senior, and now you want to take college credit classes to boost your GPA up, like that's gonna boost it up. It's not going to happen. But if you would have had your own quest, that's what they do. They be coming to me, and I'll be like, I can't help you.
Oh man. Yeah, I would have been in dire straits in this if I
Yeah,
had the same mentality I
but
had in school.
90% of the teachers give them the answers. They
I
will sit there and give you the answers if you play helpless enough. I'm not saying do that, but I'm just saying,
I'm
and the reason why I talk about the schools and stuff, because there's no, you can't you can't control where you are located, where and what school you go to,
No,
unless you are rich or wealthy or whatever,
a
and you get
private
to
school.
go to private school or pay for private school. You have to work with what you got. And if you go to a school that's not high achieving and stuff like that, you got to do everything that you're supposed to do there, and you got to do even a little bit more. And we'll listen to the interview, and I'll show you this that kid that uh my student that has the $54,000 in the bank account after 3.5 years of working.
It's
Um,
an amazing achievement.
but
It's
you
still
can we'll talk about we'll talk about the different things that he does on campus and at work and all of that stuff in this interview.
it
So
sounds very structured. And that's a
so
good thing.
we're gonna go into the interview right now. I don't know if you can hear it. All right, we ready? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Very ready.
So I'm here with my friend, my student, Leo. Leo is, and what we're going to talk about is I have a program that I want to put out, an online training course that helps people, students, or young people that don't want to go to college and have finished college, graduated from college, save $100,000 in the next 5 years, no matter where they work. So I have like a budget and things like that. The reason why I wanted to interview you is because like I see your habits. Like no matter what your background is, I don't even know your background, like family history or anything like that, but like just the stuff that I've seen over the years, it had I was like, and then I found out how much money you saved by working your job and being in school, and that had to be in the last 2 to 3 years, right?
3.5 years.
Three and a
Yep.
half years. So in 3.5 years, you saved up this amount of money. We're not gonna say the number. I can put it on the screen for everybody to see, but that's what I'm. That's what I was like. All right, the success principles are already in place for that. So when I got the number, when I understood the number, I was like, that makes sense because I see it, you know. You may not have the greatest grades in a whole school, like you're not gonna be valedictorian
Yeah.
or anything. That would be nice, but it doesn't matter at this point. It got you into the school that you
Yeah.
wanted, and you're doing things that you want to do. So that's why I was like, what? Like I want to know what drives you, or and if it is your background, what is that, and what do you think really drives you? And so first of all, tell me the ultimate goal that you have. Let's start out. This is the work hard philosophy, and this is how
The
I
ultimate
see the
goal, like what
ultimate
I want to
goal.
end up doing at the end of everything.
Yeah.
At the end of it all, I want to end up being an immigration lawyer. I don't really want to charge people all that much because I've seen a lot. Um, my parents, like when they wanted to get come in the country and they wanted to be a citizen and all that, they paid a lot of money to come in the country to become a citizen and a lot of lawyer fees and all that. And I don't want families to have to struggle through all that like my family did, which put us in a lot of financial debt. And
Hmm.
like we struggle, but we make it past where we need to,
Yeah.
and we live comfortably despite the situation.
Yeah.
um,
So and then so what I do is reverse engineering. So you already knew that you wanted to do that. You had some inkling you wanted to be that person over there. So uh, reverse engineering that, does that goal help you do what you do every single day? Because and now tell everybody what you're involved in at school
at school,
and outside of school.
in school, I'm mainly an RTC, the wing commander. I manage the whole unit. I'm also a part of restorative justice in Enough is Enough. Um, And I also started my own small program in the school called English Without Borders. It helps students transition into our community, whether they're coming from any country like Mexico or an Asian
They
country.
have English as a second language.
Exactly. We
Okay.
try and help them with that. Outside of school, I have a job. Uh, People say it's part time. To me, it feels like full
the
time.
king of burgers.
Yeah.
How many
Uh,
hours a week do you work?
at least 42. Always at least 42. Um, but yeah, I'm a manager at Burger King.
He's also taking dual credit classes,
Yep.
so he's pretty much done with all his uh, graduation requirements. And then you taking dual credit as well, which are a little bit tougher
Yeah.
classes. So you got to be on top of your p's and q's with that. And then you work 40 plus. So
Yep.
let's talk about the schedule. And this person, he is here every day. He's the first one of the first people here every single morning,
Yep.
except when he doesn't come to school and he says he's sick.
I am sick.
He probably sick because he working all those hours, sick of being a king of burgers.
Sick of the smell and all that grease and all
Yeah,
that.
because y'all stink after work. I know. But so now the habits. The habits are like showing up. What makes you want to do that every single day?
Show up to school or work or just
School first,
um just
uh,
well
at the time
at
that you do.
well my the reason I want to go to school in the first place and overall is just my parents, mainly my mother. My dad, he went to college and he has his he's a mechanic and all that, but my mom, she had to work every single day to go to school because she grew up in Mexico and you had to pay to go to school there, and she graduated top of her class and all that, and she's always been a really big motivator for me to go to school. She's always motivated us from a young age since we started school to always work hard to go to school and never let anything bring you down. And to me, like I said, she is the biggest motivator I have,
The biggest reason.
the biggest reason
Yeah.
as well. And she supports me with everything I do, everything I want to do, and she makes me feel like I really am gonna go somewhere, and it's not just myself telling myself
Uh,
I'm gonna do things.
Myself just told myself you don't need no help. Cause I have a different story. Like my mom was supportive, yeah, but um, like I feel like I'm just alone. Supportive,
Yeah,
but not a believer.
yeah,
Sounds like your mom is supportive and a believer
yeah.
of what you're capable
Yeah, but both of my parents are. My dad, he's a little more laid back about it. He's a very busy person. I don't blame him and all that. But they're very, although sometimes they don't always show it. But I've had these conversations with them, and they are very proud of me, proud of what I've done, proud of what I'm doing, what I'm gonna do. And for me, that's also another motivator because I want to make them happy. I want to make them proud,
of.
and I don't just want to do it for myself, but for them as well. Because they they expect it, but they don't expect it just because I'm smart or just because I'm their child. They expect it because I've done so much, and they want me to
Yeah,
do more,
yeah,
not for them, but for me.
nice. So you show up here every morning. First, try to be the first one in the door.
Yeah.
You and Eduardo
Yep.
fighting after
Yeah.
fighting to be the first one in the door every day. He just let you get it, huh? You
Yeah.
just like whatever. And then you come into school. Do you sleep in class?
No, not really. Unless I'm just not doing anything, don't have
Yeah,
anything to do, then I'll just take a nap.
but like not just in a regular
Yeah,
class. Have
no.
you in the last 3.5 years while
Nope.
you was stacking up the cash?
No.
Um, because the reason why I mentioned the cash part is that a lot of us come from um, negative backgrounds or
Yeah.
just um, get that our families are just getting by,
Yeah.
and if we turn that around and there's a study out that or they done a study a long time ago with farmers when they the crop when they didn't harvest the crop at that time they um, were making worse decisions
Yeah.
about their future. But when they had money from the crops that they harvested, they were making better financial
Mm-hmm.
decisions that help their future, right? So that's my theory going forward. So if we get everybody to have this big chunk of cash and we don't have no worries about if our car breaks down, where
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and get the money, or I gotta, save and make, ends meet and
Yeah.
then get my car, just different things that come up. I say the car thing because everybody has a
Yeah.
car, and and it's inevitable that you have an issue with the
Right.
car. You know what I mean? But if I have a big chunk of change in the bank, like, okay, I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna take it to the best person, that the best and quickest
Exactly.
individual
Yeah.
that I can find, and I'm gonna get it done, and that makes life a little bit more simpler,
Yeah.
and I can still think on the things and do the things that I need to do to keep making myself
Yeah.
even more successful.
Because you don't have that thought. Oh, if I have to do this, and am I gonna be able to make it till next month? And yeah.
Yes, those type of things. And if you do it young, that's even better because you can make some mistakes with the money, um, as long as you don't just blow it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
But you see NFL, or high caliber people that get money at an early age, and they blow it
Yeah.
because they don't know how to do it. But like, if you use these 5 years that I'm talking about, and you get $100,000 in a bank account, then start making purchases toward whatever it is your future looks like. That's what I'm saying is a key. And you're doing it in high school. I've always said that you could do it at a young age, like, but it takes work.
Yeah.
If you work in 42, how long have you worked at 40
Oh,
something? Like
well,
30 plus.
at first, I started working there when I was 15, something like that.
It better be legal because they're gonna be like,
Right.
we got to prosecute the king of burgers.
Right. Because in Kansas, the child labor laws, they're very
Relaxed.
they are very relaxed. Not It's understandable why they're relaxed because a lot of the communities here,
Have
um,
farms and stuff.
exactly,
Okay.
and they also have children that like they need to work as well for their parents. So like the community understands that in Kansas, or in Kansas City more specifically, a lot of the families, they're impoverished. They don't have a lot of money, so they rely a lot on their children as well for their income, which is unfortunate for a lot of families,
Hmm.
but it's the reality of how some things are.
Yeah.
But when I started working there, I didn't need to work there. I never needed to work there. I've just always I felt like I
Your
just wanted
your
to have.
family didn't need you to
Yeah,
work there, is what you're
exactly.
saying?
Yeah, I
Okay.
never needed to work. I just started working because I wanted to,
Yeah.
and I wanted to have a little bit of money to spend because why not? Um, and and at first I don't get a lot of hours because I was underage. I was under 16, and so the most hours you could work was like I think 20
Hmm.
for the entire week. And then I turned 16, and the regulations are completely different. Basically,
You could work full
yeah,
time.
full time. There's no moderation or anything at all, and so for me, I was like, oh, now I can just work all the time, and that's kind of what I've been doing. But I realized at some point, like, I can't just do this all the time because it did cause me to burn out at some point.
Uh,
And so I learned I have to limit myself and not just do it every single time. But starting last year, I think I did start working a lot more, like 38-hour weeks at least.
and you became. When was the time that you became a manager? We got
Um,
2 minutes and
Roughly about last year as well, yeah.
okay.
Um, that's when I started the process, and this year when I turned 18, and June when I turned 18, I took the test and all that because you have to be 18 to take the test
Hmm.
and passed it. And yeah, got my shirt and everything.
Got what?
My shirt and everything. I shared a little certification, a
Hey.
little ceremony. It's nice.
Uh, the main thing I see with that is that like you still have a goal. A lot of people aren't once they get to working and they start making the money and they start living a different lifestyle. Like you live a fabulous lifestyle now, which you can thank your parents for
Yes.
allowing you to be able to do that as well. But a lot of our students, they get stuck.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people get stuck too, making money, and then they go out and have an apartment,
Right.
and they buy a new car, and now you got a monthly bill
Right.
every time.
Exactly.
You gotta keep on making that money
Right.
so that you can keep
Living.
living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then eventually you gotta get a credit card, and then if you're putting all your stuff on that, and you can't pay it off, it's
No, you
worse.
can't go to Jackson.
He gave me permission.
Tell him to email me.
Okay.
All right.
Can I go tell him? Okay. Also, I'm still not.
All right. Yeah. So that student is he's a great student. And the reason why I interviewed him is because of that story. Like I always had it in my mind that hey, you could do this at a young age and do the jumpstart and generational wealth thing and get
Yeah.
a large chunk of money before you start making purchases, big purchases with your life, and you can kind of guide your life in that way. And I want to tell you, like everybody on camera, that he shared with me some other stuff about his family. His family is not perfect, like at all. So don't think that it is just I just picked out the best student and with the best family in the worst school, one of the a bad school or something like. No, he still their family still has issues. But I just wanted to share that. What are your thoughts on that interview?
I think that the interview, the things that he said, and the mindset that he had was very good, and it I'm gonna say that it got instilled with him early in life because of what his parents had to go through and his motivation to do the things that he wants to do. He wants to be an immigration lawyer because he's seen the struggle of his parents coming over here and having to obviously put a lot of money in just to be a part of this nation. Um, is It certainly motivates certain people in different ways, but it motivated him in the best way. In the fact that he is in Kansas and they're, I guess, lax labor laws. I guess working 30 hours plus will help you establish such amounts of wealth because you don't really have bills right now. You may have a cell phone bill or something like that, but nothing in the grand total that'll take away from what you're working so hard for. And you can put it up and save it for a rainy day. And obviously he's been doing that steadily for the past 3 years. And then he's also established himself as a school leader, starting his own little programs and being a part of different programs to further influence and be a part of. I had it right. I had it right in my hand. The community. We'll say the community right now. But I think that you know him being young and him having the mindset that he has, and then him being motivated. Anybody can do it. You just have to have the right. I won't even say the right situation. You have to have the right mentality to want to be successful. He
Yeah.
is definitely not an NPC at all.
He's taking control of what it is.
Yeah, he
Even if
is.
he's just doing what he's supposed to do, he's still
He's
at
still in
some point
control.
he can take control over that. That's what I'm saying. Like in the schools that we are in and things like that, that just being a part of organizations and doing what is required in high school will get you to the next step where you have a little bit more freedom to guide your life in the way that you want it to go, right? So
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Everywhere, anywhere that you are, where you're put, no matter what the school you go to, you are able to, after you get out of high school, do whatever it is you want. But
yeah, he has
it
great
takes
direction.
practice. If you didn't practice while you were in high school, w- it, the game ain't gonna look the same in
Oh
out
no,
of high school because
definitely not.
you have total control. and that goes from adolescent to adulthood. So once you're adolescent, you are, and this is Michael's hierarchy of success, right? You are at that lower level where you you hate losing if you come from a disadvantaged background. You hate losing, and but you don't have a lot of control over housing and
Yeah.
parents and siblings and how much money your parents make or anything like that. So when you are an adolescent in high school, you don't have much control. All you can control is the grades that you get, the programs you're in, the sports teams that you're in, and what you do in those programs. Then when you get out, you can start making a little bit more decisions, right?
Definitely.
That that are contributing to the long-term effects. So you mentioned mindset. So the work smarter and work harder, the work hard philosophy for individual achievement. I go through that. The mindset, mentality, and um, your goal, plan,
Yeah.
action, and diligence. Right?
Yeah. And I want to say before we leave the subject that I think that he is going to be a very impactful adult in our community, and he's going to do a lot of things, not just for his community as
Hispanic.
Hispanic brother, but it could overflow into our community as well. And hopefully, um, others in the school are paying attention and observing him and coming to the conclusion that they can also produce the same amount as him, even though obviously he has a early start and he has a different mentality. It's never too late to choose a mentality to be a part of. You don't necessarily have to be an NPC all the rest of your life. You can take control once you understand how you want to go in life.
CJ, I need you to click it back into CJ mode. This little soft spoken CJ, like, man, what is that?
I'm
Come on.
I'm I'm just
All right.
praising him in a manner that is
Yeah,
not aggressive.
I know. I'm just.
I
It's
mean,
like,
but I mean, real talk for real. That
uh,
interview was just is banging, and I think that
he
he
has the
does have.
possibility to do good things.
No, it's
The
no
Yes,
possibility.
it
I
is. Yeah,
I see
I
him.
must say explain why I said possibility.
Okay, well,
Because
I'm listening.
we like when I talk to students. Like I get into who they are. So the Gen Z generation wants to develop in a silo. So yeah, they don't want to be around people. They want to, just go to work, go home, go to school, go home, and do the things that they want. To be successful.
That's amazing.
Exactly, because I know these kids, I've been
That's
around them a
crazy.
lot. Because I had I have had further conversations with him. I was like, dude, I can't. If you want to be an immigration lawyer, you got to understand what the goal is too. A lawyer is a lawyer in general. You're gonna have to talk to many different people, and you're gonna have to network with a bunch of different people. I know one a good defense attorney. He was a prosecutor and a defense attorney,
Oh,
all of that
okay.
stuff. He used to come to my cycle class, um, and he was like, "Yeah, we have relationships with all the prosecutors and all they go out to lunch and stuff together and
Yeah.
and happy hours and stuff together, right?" So if you develop in a silo, if you go stay at home and go to KU and you commute back and forth every day and you're not staying on campus and getting to know people that you went to school with, you're developing in a silo. You're developing by yourself away from the whole group when you need to be a part of that group just to further yourself in the career that you want. You cannot develop in a silo. That's what I'm saying. He has a possibility because he's thinking about staying at home and commuting to whatever campus that it is. And I'm like, no, go live on campus It'll take some worries off your plate. It'll you'll have meals every day. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about driving. You don't have to worry about
Yeah, you're
where
already there.
you can get a job on campus. You can work your and we even got into the schedule. I was like, all right, Monday through Friday, your focus is school, is college. You're doing all of the things. You're not worried about going make money. You have the money, so don't worry about that. But on, Friday or Saturday, if you choose to work, then go work. And you work on the weekends and you work on breaks. And everything else in between is for your schooling if you want this goal. That's how detailed you gotta be, and I ain't even going all the way detailed on what I do, but well, you gotta think about those things when you're looking at doing something of that caliber. He can't just be back in his same old community with the same old friends and then become an immigration lawyer. Then you have to start over with the networking and connections and all of
Yeah,
that stuff. You
yeah,
gotta start at a later time, but you had a whole 4 years to just be around people and they don't like there's a lot of people that know of me that I went to college with just because I was in these multiple things. I don't necessarily know them. I mean, they might think they know me, like I might be a friend, you know.
yeah. I know what you
Um,
mean.
but they know of me because of what I did in the school. And and I don't even know, well, I know the people, but because we had went to a small school, but
Yeah,
um like they know me,
yeah,
if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
yeah. You're
I'm well known
yeah, you're
because
well
of
known.
and the character that I built and the work ethic that I displayed is all a part of that networking. So I can go somewhere else or I can see somebody that I went to school with and they'll have respect for me because they know me from that spot, right?
Yeah,
And that's what you want to do. And all of the things that I do now are a part of the longer term success. So being in the group fitness classes and doing that for years and volunteering at different places for all of those things are is going to help me because people know me from that place and
yeah,
they don't necessarily have to know me personally, but they know me of me, I guess. I don't know how to explain that.
yeah.
Am I explaining it all right?
The legend of Michael Taylor. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get what
yeah.
you're saying,
So
brother.
and that's why I want to I wanted him to yeah, I was like I can help you more than you know. You got it together. 'Cause that's what the conversation we
He
had.
definitely has it
I
together.
was like you got it together, but I can still help you more than you know. And that's what people don't understand about the life coaching business. The life coaching, well, my life coaching business is like no matter where you are at, there's another level that you can achieve. And even if you're not wanting to get to another level and you're comfortable and you still need to develop and work because success isn't there's no end to success.
There
There's
is
just
definitely no end.
yeah, it's
It's
just a
unlimited.
journey throughout life. And that's why we can't be an NPC.
Yeah, I don't want to be an NPC. I
Brought it
love it.
full circle.
Yeah, you did.
I brought it
Because
full circle.
no matter what point in life that you are, what age you are, I hope that you want to be successful. I hope that you want to get to the next level, no matter what age or mentality you have. But I mean, just because I want it doesn't mean that you have to do it. But it's not going to stop me from wanting to do it. I always want to level up. You know, this whole podcast is me, not being behind the shadows, and being in front of a camera and hearing my voice and knowing how annoying it is. Uh, but to see, youthful people like that, that gives me a little bit more hope that because, the youth are going to be in charge one day and we're not going to have the same power or, a judgment that we have now to influence. It's going to be influenced by younger people. So knowing him and his mentality and how he's portray this life the last 3 years and going into this, and it makes me feel better about the world.
I'm a crush those those that dream because that's one out of 1,100 in one
You
school.
know, it only takes one.
No, it don't. It take a lot more, but
Well,
we
there's
can get
more
into
out
that
there.
later.
We're gonna hatch them.
We hope so, cause
We're gonna hatch them out.
so I was talking to lady yesterday, and I was like, it's not enough is what I'm trying to say. It's not enough of him to go around. So every 10 of him, there's 90 of the the disruptors or
Yeah,
the misfits, right?
I
And
know.
so if you got 10, 10, 10, 10, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, you know what I mean? That they
That's bad
start,
math.
you feel me?
That's
Like they
terrible math.
start
They overwork it,
yeah.
and they
So
take over.
that's
Man.
that's what I'm saying is that yeah, the group think will take over for the 10. The 100 over here. 10, 20 for
Yeah,
the
that's not
10 groups
enough.
that 100 has 900 over here.
Well, well, you know what? Join the 10.
Yeah.
Join the 10, not the 90.
So we're gonna transition into our last 3,000 questions about us. Also, get the work smarter, work harder book.
There you go. It's in stores now.
Not in stores. On
On
my online store.
that's a store.
Yeah, but not stores plural. Come on now.
Hey, I want you to be in stores.
Yeah, well,
Speak it
put me in
into it.
stores. Figure it out.
I'm gonna
Look,
figure it out.
all right.
I'm gonna go to Barnes and Noble after this. Um,
Yeah, what we got? Let's do 10 minutes.
all right, we got question 132, which is: do you think horoscopes are accurate?
I don't think they're all the way accurate, but I personally, I just take the positive stuff that I get from brother. If it's some negative stuff, I just disregard it.
I I feel I feel that it has some truths to it, but it's just like a fortune cookie. You know, you got your lottos or your lucky numbers, and shits never work. And because I've tried and I didn't win nothing. So,
Because that
mm,
negative attitude that you
no, because never mind.
get.
Anyway, question 133. How you to describe millennials?
How do I describe millennials?
Yeah.
The best ever, because I'm a millennial. TBE.
Okay.
uh, I would describe us as innovators because we use the old thinking. We got the fusion of the old way and the new way because we was born in a time where we had to use the technology for the first time. So we're the most, I think, adaptable to uh technology and
Mm-hmm.
things that come around because that was our childhood. So adaptable,
Uh,
innovative,
uh,
because we didn't create anything, and I tell people this now. I was like the young people that are doing all these great things didn't create any of the things that they're that they're using.
no,
You know what I mean?
no.
So you got to be innovators
I don't really have a description of millennials because I don't think I'm not one of them. So, um, question 134: what have you ever ran from that you needed to face? Hmm.
I think I ran from taking initiative on things. So as a intern at the Central Missouri Regional Center, as an intern at the Central Missouri Regional Center, I I got a C in my internship because I didn't take the lead on a process that was done by one of the employees. They wanted me to take the initiative to take it over, and I think I struggle with that now as far as initiating and my own ideas and taking them and making them into bringing them to fruition. It takes me a little bit longer. If I would just initiate and go through with the idea fully and dive right into it, then like I think that's a little bit a part of the things that I could work on.
Um, I don't even think that I can describe it as running or ran. I think that I have maybe delayed decisions or the impact of decisions because I probably thought that the decisions were in other people's hands, and I don't necessarily like that personally. I always like to have a creative spot to where I can impact a decision, but um, I don't know. So, 135. What makes you unique?
I think my mind makes me unique. The way I think makes me unique.
I would say the way I think, um, the way I look at things makes me unique.
Your perspective.
My perspective. Sometimes my thought process makes me unique because it's not always right, but sometimes not always right works out. Oh, that's super loud. Uh, do you have a pet? If so, what kind? No, I do not have
Nope.
a pet.
Skip.
137. If you were a bartender, what famous person would you like to serve? I don't really have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Besides a person that could give me a nice tip, like fifty
It's
thousand
like,
dollars or something like
yeah,
that.
$1,000
I would say,
for the night.
what you want? You want orange juice with a twist? I give it to you.
And that's the thing
Um,
about like bartending and tips and stuff like that. Like you don't know who's gonna give you
yeah.
the big tip. Like I gave that girl we went to that we had a waitress the
Hmm.
other day on Wednesday. I gave her a big tip.
Oh, nice.
A big tip.
Well, we'll see if that impacts next
If it
time
had
we.
any impact. So
Yeah,
I
because
didn't do that. I didn't do it for that reason. But
usually usually the tips that I give is my number, so I can really give you some tips. But anyway, 138. If you could choose your last words, what would they be? Well, that was depressing. Um,
uh, I did it.
I have several. Know your role, all the way up, and be committed to excellence, and or adapt or
You ain't got that
perish.
much breath. What was that last one? What was the last one you said?
Adapt or perish.
Oh, Adaptive Paris. He got quotes. He got his own quotes. Oh, I see what
Yeah,
you did there.
yeah, give you some lasting memories. Anyway, 139. Do you have a calling on your life?
A what?
That do you have a calling on your life? That is your question, buddy.
Yeah, I think so. Uh, I'm yeah, my calling is to make people conscious of and aware that they don't have to be NPCs. They can
Mm-hmm.
be a controller of their destiny. And a lot of people say that, but I don't think people understand that there's the difference between you and Kobe Bryant is the work that amount of work that you put in. And if
Yeah.
y'all was both 6'7", is the only thing that is different is the amount of work you put in. So if you go and do 1,000, make 1,000 makes from every spot on the court in 24 hours, like you probably gonna be good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would hope that that would transfer you be good.
yeah,
Absolutely. Uh, my calling in life has changed over the years, but the one true calling that I feel like I want to be a part of and take part in is making people happy and making people laugh. Um, even though sometimes people don't get my jokes, that's fine. Uh, 140 is, have you ever let someone win an argument even if you know you were right? If so, who? All the time.
yeah. I got to.
I'm not gonna waste my energy.
Yeah,
So
be
I'm
like,
just gonna,
okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
you're right. Yeah. Next, 141. Could you ever be a medical guinea pig? Absolutely not.
No, I thought about it because they be doing the $3,000 stay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's very enticing, but I do not know what they're putting in me.
they could be putting a placebo or the actual thing. You start coming out with the shakes and stuff, and you don't know the long-term effects of that stuff. That's why.
I'm very nervous at
That's
my
that's
age.
one of the reasons why we need to do the jumpstart generational wealth. If you are listening to this, if you need to do the jumpstart generational wealth saving, the first to 100,000, right? So you don't have to take these get rich quick schemes. You don't have to go in and toss newspapers out of your door, out of your window of the car. That's what I had to do. Like, if I had $100,000 in the bank, like I would be doing the stuff that I needed to do to get to the next step, right?
I would, yeah, I would hope so. And that next question is crazy, and I'm glad it's going to be on the next
All
podcast.
right. Final
uh,
thoughts is you don't
well,
have to be a. Oh, you want to
no,
go?
no, go ahead.
You don't have to be the NPC of your life. You can be the main character, you can be the director, but it's going to take work. And I understand that where you come from, your environment may not dictate the the circumstances that are conducive to success, but the older you get and the more freedom you get, more independence you have, you'll be able to become that main character and direct your life in a positive direction. But do the work now and you will be able to have those opportunities and the outcomes will be greater and the choices that you have are going to be more abundant than if you don't do the work. So that's my plea to you is to do the work now, accomplish things now in the time that you're at high school. If I can do anything, like, and my vision is to see that all of the inner city schools that have problems, if all of those students went to school and did what they were supposed to, and they all had 3.0 GPAs and everybody was collaborating, that would be a whole bunch of schools that would have to be dealt with in a different manner because
Absolutely.
you are going to be so competitive in the real world. That's why people go to HBCUs because they can go and collaborate and get around people of like mind and like skin color per se. But it doesn't matter. You can create that own like wherever you are or wherever you have the opportunity to get planted, bloom there in whatever environment. If you get a scholarship or your a state has a state institution that's a PWI that's that's cost effective for an education, go there. I don't care what it is. You just go because that's the more logical and that's the most uh, practical step to take. But we need you to bloom and we need you to be the main character. We can't just have you going in and blending in like you an NPC.
We don't want you to be an NPC. Uh, we're gonna. I'm gonna end this on a positive thing, and I'm gonna just allow it to be known. If we've ever had a personal conversation about dreams or aspirations that you wanted to achieve, just know that it did not fall on fallen ears or, you
Deaf
know,
ears.
deaf ears or whatever ears are trending right now. I am in big support of your dreams. I want you to achieve everything that you want to achieve, uh, even if I'm not involved in it or I have nothing to do with it. Me knowing that you shared your dreams with me or your aspirations is good enough for me to be a part of. And your success regulates your success. And your success is a broader spectrum of what you want to do in life. So, whatever you want to do in life, keep reaching for those goals. Keep talking about it. Tell everybody that wants to hear, wants to listen, because eventually you will achieve your goals. Eventually you will be the person that you want to be. And somewhere in the crowd, I will be there clapping for you. And let's wrap that up and be all the way up, be committed to excellence, and, know your role.